We're here to talk about self-care, y'all, especially around the holidays. Happy holidays, y'all. Whatever you're celebrating, this is a time of year that a lot of people look forward to. It's one of my favorite times of year, but at the same time, it's also easily my consistently hardest part of the year on many levels. The holidays can really set up for really high expectations that often aren't met. Some people opt out. They protect their boundaries in very specific ways, which I'm proud of you for doing. And I know it can make people upset. I've been there, it's hard. For me, it definitely hits on some voids, some insecurities, and also it is a time where I often find myself with a lot of solitary time. And the holidays is so emblematic of spending time with family, community, celebrating love, which is why we're here. If the holidays are about celebrating love, the most important relationship in your life is your relationship with yourself. And I just want to speak to how I navigate my loneliness, taking care of my mental health in the holidays, with the hopes that it inspires you to really understand, even though it's really difficult, some of the opportunities that the end of the year brings, the holiday season brings, even if it isn't that picture perfect Harry Potter Christmas feast vibe that we all kind of dream of. So with the holidays, everyone's in a good mood. There's all these festivities. And because it also happens around the end of the year, it's also a really beautiful and underrated opportunity to reflect. And if you're like me and you spend a good amount of time during the holidays alone, there's no better time to do this reflection. It's a really precious time to connect with yourself and really give yourself some very nourishing self-care and attention. I was just watching this video with Shan Boodram, and I love that she differentiates self-love and self-soothing. And she compared it to like a baby sucking on a binky. That's self-soothing because it's kind of like simulating the feeling of getting nourishment, but there's actually no nourishment involved in the self-soothing. So self-love is when you're really deeply addressing your needs physically, emotionally, mentally, cognitively. So for me, there's nothing like just deep and unapologetic rest. Just allowing myself to just spend a luxurious, excessive, like I am rich in time. I literally wrote in my notes, spa the fuck out. Get your face mask, relax. Like, I love a bubble bath. Get a massage, like whatever's in your budget, do it. Whatever feels like, yo, I've been needing this. Ooh, my posture's been off. Treat yourself. Pamper isn't the right word, but it does feel like pamper vibes if you've been depriving yourself. We're all just running machines, and that's just what our society expects of us. The unrealistic standard. How are you feeling? Like, feeling a little tired. Haven't had a vegetable in a few days. When's the last time I had a sip of water? My last Christmas was up there in my most depressing Christmases. Because I was alone, I have the opportunity to completely fall apart in a way that I felt like I wasn't rich in time enough to do over a regular weekend. So I spent Christmas in bed in the dark, like crying and releasing and just feeling, creating a lot of space for all of my melancholy feelings. It's not great to feel extremely depressed on Christmas and cry all day, but I believe in expressing over repressing, so I'm glad I had the space and opportunity to do that and to release that, and then have that clarifying calm that comes after those deep, guttural, visceral cries. With Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of them, there's a really spectacular slowdown it can be like, yo, now's my time to really connect with myself and really just sit with myself and think about the things that I've been wanting to do, haven't had the time. I will sing to myself, I will dance. There's definitely like a dopamine, serotonin, pleasure hormone release when it comes to singing and dancing. And when you're doing it by yourself, there's something really magical there, because you're not performing for anyone, you're not even thinking about judgment, you're just freely expressing and just releasing and really connecting your mind, your body, your mood is exuded in your actions. Like if I feel a little stuck or my mood is just feeling low, listening to music, just putting something on and just like getting a little groove thing going, it really goes a long way. I will take the opportunity to make myself a nice meal, maybe experiment with new ingredients, do the same holiday festive stuff I would be doing, but just on a me scale. One of my favorite Christmases, I actually had a silent retreat in my apartment. I knew I needed to quiet the noise, turn off my phone, and yo, text your mama before you do this. Don't let her be worried. I text the people like, yo, I'm gonna be off the grid until this day. I'm just unplugging, so let people know, but turn off your phone, turn off all the outer noise and just spend time with yourself. I really encourage you to unplug in a way that allows you to still authentically be yourself and do the things you enjoy, but allows you to center your own thoughts and needs and just quieting the noise of others. There'll be so many other opportunities to connect with others, but it's so special and rare to spend extended amount of time with yourself, knowing yourself, because also it's important to note that you are an ever-changing person, and it's hard to know the ways you are changing, want to change, need to change if you're not doing those check-ins and not really maintaining a spark of curiosity towards yourself and trying new things and continuing to do the things that you love, even if they don't make sense and aren't productive. But whatever those things are for you that are intrinsically meaningful, those things that come up in your mind, like that random dream, that random thought, the random to-do that you're like, that you constantly deprioritize, now is the time to re-explore it. All right, so connecting with yourself, priority number one, in my opinion, but also I want to make sure that people aren't using the holidays as an excuse to excessively self-isolate if they are genuinely craving connection, which is very natural and understandable to feel if you're in a holiday season that's all about connection. But there's so many opportunities to connect beyond the traditional. Celebrate with who's around. As someone dealing with the holidays alone and a birthday around the holidays, sometimes it's a matter of just seeing who's around, when they're around, your found family, your friends, wherever you're staying, and connect with them in a way that makes sense, that aligns with what you want to do. Sometimes that's attending a friend's holiday party, throwing it myself, having a birthday party when they come back from their Christmas trips. I had an amazing birthday party. Oh my gosh, that was incredible. So many people showed up. Talk about found family. Talk about just when your friends come back from the holidays and are ready to celebrate you. Maybe you're like me a couple of years ago when I first moved to a new place, COVID times, and you don't really have someone to connect with in person on any levels, especially around the holidays. There's still opportunities to connect with others while being with yourself. So pulling from that last category and bringing it to this one thing that recently has sparked a lot of joy for me is going to live shows, because it allows me to have my individual experience with whatever I'm enjoying, like a comedy show, a play, but I'm also having a shared experience with the audience. I'm getting their reactions. Like it's such a lovely way to feel connected with others while you're connecting with yourself without the pressure for extensive social interaction. If you don't have anyone geographically close to you to connect with, thank goodness we are in the future. We got technology. You can connect virtually. Like Christmas of 2020, I was in a brand new city. My family was spread out all over the place, and I decided to host a virtual game night. Because it was a virtual format, it allowed me to invite other family members that I haven't seen in a long time. And it also allowed me to connect different sides of my family, I believe, for the first time. So even though you may feel like you're losing something by not being physically present, there are opportunities to gain something by doing things in a different format. And another thing that I like to do, this can be a way to connect with yourself or connect with others: travel. Take yourself on a solo trip. I gifted myself a solo trip to Cancun. I went to the beach every day. I am such a team skip winter. Travel as a digital nomad with a community, a group of other travelers who may also be dealing with the same holiday blues loneliness. And you may find yourself with a community of new people who surprisingly relate to you to celebrate the holidays with. And sometimes it's about just being brave enough to start a new tradition, advocate for a new tradition, herd cats towards a new tradition. And for me, that was taking a holiday trip with my family. Our first trip as a family that I've experienced in adulthood, and it was absolutely fabulous. We went to New Orleans. I felt like we could all benefit from just being in a different environment and creating new memories and exploring a new place. And also volunteering. So last holiday, I decided to just go and do some volunteering. Again, speaking about the things that are intrinsically meaningful, I haven't built up a volunteering routine in the city I was living at the time. So holidays are a great time just to connect with your community in a different way, connect with different people in your community. One important thing to note with this is when you are alone and you are going out and doing things that are intrinsically meaningful to you, it allows you to make space for your new curiosities, the new ways you're growing as a person, but also simultaneously connect with those potential new people who are aligned with your new curiosities and to build community around that. Last but not least, I encourage you to honor your traditions as well as your curiosities. I have a lot of positive rituals around Christmas time rooted from my childhood. I have a playlist of all those songs I used to play on the old record, what is it called? Record player? Why am I laughing? James Brown Christmas, Jackson 5 Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, Christmas. And it brings me back to that childhood excitement and anticipation around the holidays. But then I'm also a big fan of creating new traditions. This taking myself out to French food has become a new personal tradition for me. Get myself some French onion soup, soupe à l'oignon, and escargot. And also, if you love to decorate in a way that makes sense. When I was a kid, I was responsible. I make it sound like a chore. It kind of felt like a chore after a while. Assemble a tree, decorate it, decorate the house, cook, and it was a lot. So I take bits and pieces of it. I love decorating my space and nesting, but I didn't want a big tree. So I got one of those cute little rosemary trees from Trader Joe's, and then afterwards I could use it to cook and make some roasted potatoes with rosemary. Yes. And then compost it. Zero waste Christmas. Ultimately, I want to validate the feelings of feeling left out, feeling alone, feeling overwhelmed, and this feeling imbalanced and maybe even a little bit performative around the holidays, because there is all this external festivity and love, but you're feeling a lot of isolation, confusion, shame, so many things. There are multiple things to consider, multiple gifts to gain from spending this time alone. Even though I get it, it feels really fucking sad, it feels really fucking isolating. With that, I just want to thank you for watching, for holding this space for me to talk about the difficulties and how I navigate them. If you have anything that works for you that you'd like to share, would love to hear that in the comments. If you have any questions, yeah, let me know. I'm so chill. I feel like this whole thing was quite an emotional roller coaster, which again really just drives home how emotionally demanding the holidays can be, and how it's really such a critical moment to check in with yourself, take care of yourself. I'm speaking to the lonely people today, but for those people who are dealing with difficult family dynamics, feeling like they're really being demanded a lot of, here for you, holding space for you as well. And I hope you find those small nuggets where you can do these self-care things on whatever scale is accessible to you. But yeah, I'll be seeing you around. Have a wonderful holiday season. Peace.